Run that tune back. Ramsey,
Fun
thanks
fact.
for playing that live sax in the back.
Fun fact, what instrument was that?
Well, I just guessed a saxophone, so clearly that's not correct.
That's a trumpet with a mute on it.
Cool. Look at you.
Shove
I didn't know
it up
you
there.
were a band geek.
I was a trumpeter.
No shit. You march?
Oh, God, yeah.
No shit. I had no idea, and I would have never expected it.
Yep. I was first chair trumpet in jazz and marching band. So there's a fun fact for you. I marched the shit out of that thing. We
like
did
high school, middle
high school,
college.
well, I started in elementary school and stopped and gave it up junior year of high school because I was tired of being in the football games. So I was like, senior year, I'm going to go to the football games. And anyway, enough about me.
Wow. I love it. I would have never have guessed that, but
it brought me back.
I bet it did. I wish I could. I would love. Well, I'll jump into it first. Let me give the introduction here. Ramsey's over there pissed off. We're 2 minutes in, haven't done it yet. What's going on, Cigar Club family? Welcome back to another Box Drop Live. I know we didn't do one last month. I apologize. I'm Pew, and along with me is the man everyone is here to actually see, Griff Howie. The Box Drop is a monthly live show where we discuss all things cigars live with the ones that we love the most, you, the Cigar Club family. This week's episode, we're going to be reacting to some internet's hot takes related to cigars. And remember, at the end of the episode, we are going to be doing a giveaway. Ramsey is diligently working in the back, writing down all of the names that are going to be engaged in the chat. Listen here, he is, okay? He's got stuff planned for us today. He's going to be pulling up things. He's going to be writing down names, spinning a wheel. We need to get him a real wheel, maybe write on it, and then he can just spin that live.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So engage through chat as we talk about some internet cigar hot takes. I will admit, right before we started this episode, we just wrapped up a podcast, excuse me. So Griff and I aren't actually smoking anything from the boxes over the last few months. No, this is not live, Steve. This is pre-recorded because we're in love with this cigar, so we couldn't put it down. And we did a 45-minute podcast, and we smoked a 1/4 inch of this slow-burning beast.
Yeah.
I was touching this up right before we went live, and I did something I haven't done in quite a while. And I put a hole in my shorts, and the ember went through my shorts and napalmed it to my leg and burned the shit out of me. So we're coming in hot in all aspects. It's hot here. Burn a hole in my leg, and we're having a good old time. But I'm seeing some familiar names in here. What up, Sam Hopkins? What's going on? We got William Sandy live in chat, and I agree, love some jazz with a good cigar. Griff, I'm not going to take away your favorite person in chat, so I'll let you say hey.
Oh, who do we have here? Sandy was the first, obviously. Rob Current. Game on. Gunnar Kelly smoked something good. Damn it. Josh Sims fixed that. Dustin Michael, how are you, dude? My lost interest is always in the house.
Always.
Sammy Hopkins, Stacy Ferrero, Dr. Alex is in here. The whole gang's here.
You love to see it. Thank you all for coming out. I want to know, what is everyone smoking right? Why am I here? Thank you, Ramsey. What is everyone smoking right now? If you're drinking something, would love to know what you're drinking. I drank entirely too much wine last night.
You had a little wine party. It looked like Tupperware party.
Rolled in hot at midnight last night. I'm normally asleep by 10, so didn't get the beauty rest that I normally.
I was wondering if you were going to be hungover, or say I'll be on in a couple hours.
I was jokingly going to put in when I posted the picture of the wine, like, Griff, I may be a little late this morning.
I was expecting that. Warwich.
We were on. Sandy, I want to know.
Loves Warwich.
I was about to say, Sandy, we love Warwich. How do you feel about the new branding? And are you still drinking the Warwich coffee, which I have yet to purchase for myself for one reason or another? Ooh, Steve, great call on Aperio.
Yeah, I hadn't had. You sent me one. I hadn't had the new branding Warwich, but what a good cigar. I need to bring that to Pensacola, I think, and smoke it down there.
I had a Orwich this week, and it just I love that cigar. Josh, love the Foreign Affair by
Oh,
Luciano.
I've not had that
I had
yet.
that sent to me a couple weeks ago to smoke and try out. Really great blend. Something I'm certainly looking to potentially bring in some future boxes
Yeah,
later
I've not
this
had it
year.
yet. It's Griff Wing Pan. I'm not. Nope.
No, I gave
Today
mine away. I am.
I am shortless. Coffee is good, but not great. But paired good with a Orwich stick, though. Yeah, well, it kind of has to. I feel like. Ooh, house blend, nice.
House blend, great call.
I will say, this year of the rabbit I'm blown away. If you haven't had it yet, get it. If you can't find it, find it. Obviously, we're big Placencia fans. This is just great and super slow. My God, we'll finish
I
this and
mean,
we'll probably still have a third left.
easily. This is I don't want to give away too much from the podcast episode because I want you all to listen. But this cigar for $50, it is well worth the money. If nothing else, from the smoking experience, you're probably looking at 2.5 hours, if not longer than that, if you're not a straight chiefer. But I saw a couple comments in there. Tell us about that. Yeah, so went over to a friend's house last night for dinner. We had been wanting to do this for a while now, but some life issues preventing us from locking in a date. So we finally had time yesterday. Went over. We met him. He was a former owner of the wine bar here in Opelika, and so he cooked us an amazing homemade pasta Italian meal.
Dang.
Drank multiple bottles of wine. Some of them are truly lifetime, one in a lifetime experiences. We had a bottle of Chardonnay from France that was literally Charlemagne's, the historical Charlemagne, not Charlemagne the God, his plot of land that he grew Chardonnay grapes on back in the 1400s, an extremely expensive bottle of wine. And it was wonderful. And it was very nice of him to bring that out. And then we drank as Griff, Griff, I know you love the 250, but we drank
250 is a good rounded year.
I know. I slummed it with the 200-year-old bottle of, or 200-year-old sherry that we drank. But it was crazy. That sherry is aged in the barrel for 200 years.
That's
absolutely.
Just, how's there any left? I guess there's not. It's super low in alcohol content. So
correct. It was dark. It was complex. It was
had to be like syrup.
It really wasn't. It was not overly sweet, which was super surprising.
But honest to God, now that you're out of the moment, you're not, all just excited. Was it actually out of this world / was it better than you were thinking it was going to be?
I was expecting it to be, thinking in like bourbon terms, because I've never had anything that old before, right? So thinking in, well, 250, sure, 200.
Yeah, well, in all seriousness, I have not.
No, and so I was thinking in bourbon terms of like, oh, this is just going to be like oak and very barrel forward, but I believe the barrels that they age these things in are massive. So they're not charred.
Yeah.
So the barrel flavors don't come through as nearly as much as you think it would, but it was great. It paired fantastic with Reserva 710, which is why I brought that cigar, because I knew he would appreciate dark, funky, mushroom umami type cigar. We broke out some Madeira to your love. I know you're a big Madeira fan, but it was a wonderful evening. And I told him we'll have to reciprocate and break out some bourbon and tequila. So a wonderful evening. I knew we were going to be there for a while.
Would you eat dinner at like 11 o'clock?
No, we actually ate dinner at like 7. So it was literally just hanging out. The house that he lives in is pre-Civil War. It's one of like 3 pre-Civil War houses in Opelika. And
that's cool.
So it was really cool. He's a great guy and was a lot of fun.
My house is pre-COVID. So
me too. Yeah, I'm like, when you come over, I'm not going to have any cool things to show you in my house.
So I was really hoping it was post-COVID, but that would make absolutely zero sense. But yeah, we're pre-COVID here, so That it looked like a great time. I was I don't know if I would have enjoyed much of that, but Meg and I went to her birthday dinner the other day, and we got a super old bottle of. I sent you a picture.
Yeah.
And my God, it just like penetrated. Steve, settle down. Penetrated the cork. It was really cool.
Yeah. I still want to, and
It was funky.
I really want to get a birth year wine to have in age till like for my 40th or something like that. I think that'd be really fun to open up a bottle that was bottled when you were born. That's still a dream.
I mean, to put it in perspective, you said 200. This was 2011, so whatever the math is there, but it was
sure,
and I can't pronounce it, but it was
well, and I think that's being aged in the bottle is almost not better, but like more difficult because this was in a barrel, right? So it's at the winery. They know what they're doing. They know they've been making sherry for well over 200 years. Well, when you have it in a bottle, that bottle needs to be stored perfectly, and you get that seepage into the cork, which I think is really, really cool. So it was a ton of fun, and
I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you showed up on time this morning.
I rolled in 7:45, 15 minutes early. 15 minutes early means you're on time.
I like that. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late.
Mm-hmm.
Something my wife does not live by. So we were allegedly leaving at 4 a.m. on Saturday, and I said, "Look, my ass is backing out at 4, with or without you."
Without you.
I say that, and obviously I'll, of course, stay. But
well, you're a smart man.
She'll probably start packing at 3 a.m. And I'm just like, good God, you're killing me. Mm-mm. But come higher. I used to, and actually I'll probably do this again. I used to do contracts. We're leaving at 4 o'clock, or you're buying me a bottle of bourbon capped at 50 or $60, and she'd sign it. And by God, we were on time when we get those in place. Cork penetration and seepage, of course.
Yeah, there it is.
So
I might
need to crank out a new contract for Saturday's departure.
That's good. Well, as always, if you're needing a stoppage break, I'm here. You'll drive past my house.
You should meet us at Buc-ee's
in the morning. We should. But
you should.
It will be.
I mean, it's gonna be quick. I mean, I'll go and drop the kids off at the pool and grab a Red Bull or something, and then we'll be back on it. But yeah, you should. If we leave at 4, let's see. It's like leaving at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd probably be there by 8, 7:30.
Yeah, shoot me a message. I may actually meet you there. I'd roll out of bed for some Griff and side of Buc-ee's.
Well, I mean, it's a quick sighting, but
that's,
Josh Sims. Okay, boys, I'm going to Germany. Awesome. In 2 weeks, what is the actual law on the amount of sticks I can bring back? I don't know, but I don't foresee you.
Yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't foresee you bringing back, hundreds.
I think it's double check. I believe it's under 300 cigars. And I think it only matters if they're Cuban specifically. I don't think it's an issue if you bring non-Cuban because you can get them in the States. So obviously, double check. I'm not held accountable. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not well acquainted with the TSA and international travel laws. But, you spread them out over a few packages. You don't clear them, roll the dice, let customs sort it out. I think you're going to be good. 50 sticks in the UK.
50?
Holy hell.
Chancellor, how are you? I think you're a new face to me, although I don't recognize your profile picture. So, I don't know, Josh. That's something that you may want to do a little Google search on, but sounds like a blast.
Yeah, I've been once to Germany, and I would love to go back. I'd love to go to Berlin. Who was going on vacation? I saw it earlier. Was it Dustin? No smoking. Vacation starts tomorrow, so working late. Hate to see that, but I'm glad you're getting a vacation. You got any cigar plans lined up? Anything waiting to 100 cigars? So I was off by 200. But I wonder if that's per person. So if you're traveling with people, you can
probably is per person, I would think.
But I've come back with around that amount of like test blends and stuff, and they don't care.
No,
I don't know. You're gonna roll the dice. The worst. Maybe I'm wrong. Once again, don't follow my advice. I'm not a lawyer, but I assume they would just take it and maybe you give them 2 and they don't care.
The biggest pain in the ass was that damn horseshoe ashtray from Mexico.
Jesus. That was a lead brick. and I had it in my
Yeah.
backpack.
Well, they
No, I
gave
didn't.
me
I didn't. I put it in my suitcase because it was metal.
both the airport in Mexico City and in
Oh, you
wherever
flew
my
twice.
layover was, Charlotte, was just gave me absolute hell about this damn thing. She was like, keep
Yeah.
it, take it. This is insane. It's a freaking ashtray.
Yeah. And that nearly put me over that 50-pound limit because it was about 25 pounds on its own.
It's heavy as hell.
But yeah, so it looks like 100. You could probably chance it. Don't take my advice. It's up to you. But Josh, are you looking at like bringing back Cubans, I assume? Since that's probably what you can't get here in the States.
Lounge that I go to in Frisco, Texas is hooking me up with Oliver from German Engineering Cigars. And oh, cool. It's Stuttgart.
Oh,
It's
that's
great.
going to be awesome.
It'll be a blast. Cool.
Well,
so what are we doing? Hot takes?
We're getting some hot takes. I got called out by Bailey in front of people the other day.
Oh.
And she said, we don't know what hot takes are. And, you know, it cuts deep.
What the hell does she know?
She gets these jabs in and just really brings me back and humbles me. So maybe do we define what is everyone's definition of what a hot take is?
At least she listens to the podcast.
I do give her that. I don't know. I assume based off your comment that Meg doesn't listen to the podcast.
Sam, it's apples and oranges, like, and not in a better way, but a completely different way. This is by no means a powerhouse, and it's also not a Honda and Puro. So, I would buy this again if I saw it in the store. I would definitely grab one to keep in the humidor and smoke at some point. Again, it's a completely different price tag than the 149 as well. So, both very good. I mean, the 149 is more up my alley for sure than this blend, but they're just different.
So for me, a hot take is a controversial opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether I agree with it or not, I don't know. I think she said we're just dumb.
Well, accurate.
I mean, she's not wrong. Yeah. She goes, you guys are idiots. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know.
No, I think we were onto something the other day. I mean, I don't think we were that far off.
No. So let's see some controversial hot takes. Ramsey, I know you've got some cool things in store. Bring us in with the muted trumpet.
Wow.
My God, screw the trumpet. We've got animated.
I can't even see the damn thing.
I got you, old Griffey. All right, Liga Privadas are not great cigars. Are they good? Are they worth the price? Nope. But remember, taste is subjective as hell. Personally, I don't like them at all.
That's a hot take.
I think that's a flaming hot take and would really make a lot of people upset.
Yeah, that's why I put it back down, Steve. I don't want to get you all excited. I caught myself. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Drew Estate fan personally. The Legal line is solid, but I mean, there's just so many solid cigars in this day and age. I will say, like, that T52 is probably one of the most pretty cigars.
Yes,
the band is just it's just a gorgeous look, and especially in the bundle in the box, it's really, really nice. But they're not my favorite.
I think you certainly make a lot of people upset with this comment. I think Drew Estate has done a wonderful job at marketing and developing a fan base that's very vocal in their love for the Legal lines and Drew Estate. I remember when I first started smoking cigars and I was on the, our cigar subreddit and other cigar forums and following people on Instagram and seeing their posts of Ligas. The cigars are gorgeous. That cigar, the photos alone was enough for me to want to go out and find it. I eventually were able to get the 9s, the T52s, the Flying Pigs, the Unicos, all the Liga lines. And for the most part, the only Liga that I enjoy is the T52.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cigar that I don't mind picking up. I prefer the smaller, like I've smoked the double Corona before and it took like fucking 4 hours to smoke that bad boy. But I always say that cigar is reminiscent of sweet tea, a natural, sweetness in that cigar, tea-like qualities. There's a little bit of like chocolate. It is, Sam, as you said, it is a firm pack. With Liga, though, you tend to have pretty good construction. You're always going to have phenomenal smoke output. I know a lot of people say that they do some artificial things or some tweaking to get their smoke output to be crazy as it is. I don't know one way or the other, but I know they have a very, very thick smoke output.
I will say I don't think they age well at all.
Yes, you're 1,000% correct. I have one in my humidor that it's aged too long, and I'm like, I don't even know. Those cigars smoke young. Or let me rephrase that. They smoke perfectly when they're fresh.
Yeah,
and
when you get them,
new.
smoke them, but don't
Yes.
hold them and wait because you'll
Yeah.
be very disappointed.
They lose so much of their aroma.
Mhm.
The footnote really drops off, and the mouth texture tends to be really flat, and just it doesn't have that quality that I go for. You know, the reason I want to smoke it is for those qualities, and they lose it with a year of age, if not 6 months. So, okay, we're on the same. That's a hot take. Most people would disagree with it. Bailey, I know
Bailey
you're not
to
listening.
stick to the gardening.
I'll run in there. She's off this week. I'll run in there and tell her, she's not watching. God forbid.
Tell her to stick to the gardening and the cooking. And that don't mean that in a bad way. She has an Instagram.
I am not saying
the Instagram is called cooking, so
yes.
I don't mean that in a derogatory, for clarity.
And we're canceled.
Christ, Ramsey, could you make this any freaking smaller?
Well, some of us have young eyes, old man.
Let me get my telescope here. I'll read it now that I zoomed in
right.
times
Beautiful.
1,000. Okay, we just changed it. Okay, now we changed it back.
Got it.
From Carmen Nick. When the person at the shop says these house blends are the same as the stick you're looking at, they're not. They're not. In the beginning, used to smoke house blends since they were a few bucks cheaper and would do a deal on buying them. After getting 4 that absolutely sucked, we gave up on them. It also could attribute that it was my early days of smoking and was still learning the ins and the outs. There's a lot there.
There is. And
now Ramsey can screw off.
Well, there goes Griff. It's going to be a one-man show. I wouldn't say that's a hot take.
Yeah,
I think for maybe the audience that we have, it's not a hot take. For maybe some it is. Because I do agree. I think most house blends, not the one Sam's smoking, but most lounge house blends suck. Now, I wouldn't say all do, and I wouldn't say don't try them. Things that I look for is I'm going to talk to their tobacconist or their owner or whoever it may be. And if they can tell me the factory where that cigar has been made and, the blend of that cigar, and if it has a band, those 3 things right there, if they can talk about those and, the cigar looks good, I'll pick one up for sure. As long as it's crazy expensive.
I think there's also, I'm still a little confused on the definition of house blend. Right when I left Pensacola, our local shop there, and I guess I would consider it a house blend, and I can't think of the name, the brand kind of identity of it, but it was Hostess made it and had a band. And so I guess I would consider it kind of like a Cordova cigars house blend, if you will. But I did not have a chance to smoke it, but I've heard amazing things. Now, if it's a house blend unbanded, that you could kind of perceive it being one-offs or secondary type things, and they're marking it up, it could probably be hit or miss, maybe mostly miss. But
because there's a lot of great factories, like you said, Ostos de la Isla, that make blends and cigars specifically for, a single brick and mortar, or maybe it's a brick and mortar that has 3 or 4 different stores. That's going to be fantastic. So it's one of those that, sure, maybe the only way that is to try it. But for me, if they can actually speak on that cigar and give me an inclination that they were involved in either the blending process or the approval process, and it's not just a mass-produced cigar with either no label slapped on it that they, sell to 5,000 different shops, or, it's a mass-produced cigar with multiple different labels slapped on it, depending who they're selling it to.
It's also similar to store picks, right? Some store picks are actually, they go through the process and they actually take it seriously. Some legit say, I don't care, just send me one, we're going to slap a label on it, and it could be unfortunately not good whatsoever. Again, so subjective, because it not being good to me could be the best bourbon, the pickers picked. But a lot of stores just do it because they don't have the time to go through the process, or they don't give two shits because they do them all the time.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm always curious if it's a store that I know. Did you guys do a raffle for them, for customers to come in, or was it the owners that did it? It's the same ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's a risk no matter what, because you could have, not going to say Ostos, but let's just use La Isla for an example. He may make a cigar for someone that, I don't even want to say it because it's not true, isn't great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm just using that as a factory to think of another one off the top of my head. So even if they can speak on everything and they were involved in it, maybe it's just not a great blend, or the blend doesn't, work for you. So unfortunately, you kind of have to give it a try and find out. But as Sam said, it's always great to support those local shops whenever you can. And if that means trying a house blend, trying something new, you certainly can. But yeah, I stay away from I feel like you can kind of tell when it's just a bland marketed, for the shop cigar, because it's usually in like an unmarked box and kind of just sitting there, and it's like $2 a cigar. And I'm like, I'm going to pass on that one. But if it's like 6 or 7, I may give it a shot.
Yeah. But I mean, also on the flip side, if it's a house blend and you talk to them and they tell you it's a factory that you've never heard of, it's like, oh man, maybe I kind of want to try it. Could be complete shit, but it could also be the glory hole, right?
Sure. Yeah. If you never heard of La Isla before, and you're like, yeah. So it's tough. It's tough.
Start diving into what cigars, do they make cigars for other people and stuff like that?
Yeah. It's one grip for American and took 3. Oh, Cascades.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yep. Great tequila.
Speaking of Cascanes, have you tried? I bought you the Reposado and the Blanco. Have you tried? Do they have an añejo? Have you found or tried the añejo yet?
No, you can order it, but I think the next bottle I'm gonna order is the still strength.
Yeah, 109 proof,
107, I think.
Call it split in the middle. It's 108.
Yeah, which I don't know if there'll be a massive difference, but
be fun.
To me, it's like I gotta try that. So I might buy a bottle and bring it up to the beach in July, because that's the start of the ranch water summer.
Yes,
I won't be making ranch waters with that, but
no,
just the best. It's the best. Although we did the tequila blind and we were very surprised it did not rate high, unfortunately.
Yep.
The single estate Ocho, I think, won.
It did, and funny enough, I was about to reference that blind. I've been going back and drinking the Select de Nam 1493 rainwater one.
Oh, the rainwater.
It is what I wanted it to be. It is really good now.
Really?
And I don't know if it just needed air in the bottle. I've been drinking it over ice, so it hasn't been neat. But I've been drinking it over a big cube, and it is awesome. I was drinking that Tuesday. I drank like 3 or 4 big old glasses of that thing with a fat ice cube. Really, really good. So give it another shot if you find a bottle. I mean, you may not want to, but I was actually pleasantly surprised at how good that was.
Yeah, I might actually have to bring down some tequila to Pensacola now that I think of it.
I mean, you might as well. It's going to be hot. You got to cool off.
In case the mood calls for it, which if it's there, it will. Granted, we might be having a lot of tequila with the margarita machine. So
yeah, I'm jealous. I don't wish this. So let me preface this by that. I need like a Mexican restaurant to go out of business around here so I can scoop up a big old industrial size frozen drink maker.
Taking the primary off.
I'm almost there. Sam once again, that JD
back you sent is it was very good.
That was. I've got a couple I need to crack open and do like a side by side to see how good it is compared to that one. Next hot take. This is a hot take. Whiskey is a poor pairing with most cigars. It overpowers the flavor of the cigar.
Who the hell is this?
I think that's a hot take. And I'm going to say if your whiskey is overpowering your cigar,
you're not pairing right.
I think you're not pairing.
Yeah, sure. Barrel proof with the Connecticut. This is probably what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just
But I
use
mean, maybe you only smoke Connecticut cigars and you only like barrel proof bourbon. I'm always going to play devil's advocate, but
I won't.
I I know you won't. That's why we balance each other.
Yeah.
Um, put the knee down. Steve's getting a little excited. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, there's kind of a scale, I would think.
Yeah.
Connecticut's, I wouldn't go over 100.
Agreed.
Habanos and Corojos, I would probably stay between, 95 and 115, 120. Hell, I mean, you could even drink barrel strength with Corojos and Habanos.
Sure.
That's the thing. Like, even some San Andreas Maduros go better with a more mild
Absolutely
whiskey than barrel proof.
I mean, I think it's one of those. There's not a pairing that goes perfectly with everything. So that's like, if I'm drinking, maybe it's tequila, but if I'm drinking a dark red bottle of Bordeaux, it may not go well with a dark cigar.
Yeah.
Or it may. It could. It just depends on the cigar. It depends on the bottle of wine that you're drinking. So really, you kind of have to experiment when it comes to pairings.
I would definitely say it's a hot take, and I definitely don't agree.
I agree. Absolutely. I do disagree. I agree in the sense that, sure, some bourbons overpower it all, but take a sip of the bourbon, maybe have a puff of the cigar first, and then go through and figure out, okay, cool, this cigar is light. I need a light whiskey for it. I don't want to go for that 130 proof Jack Daniels that's going to completely overpower the cigar. And if maybe it won't, but you got to try. You got to switch it up. You can't just be like steadfast in it. I'm only drinking barrel proof bourbons with my cigars.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then when you go to pick out your cigar or you're going to buy cigars, look for a full bodied cigar. I guarantee you that will probably work.
Absolutely. So hot take, but not a wrong take because it's all subjective. Can you read this one? I'll leave it up to you.
I'm not. No,
I got you. This comes from, you just got to get better robotic eyes. Mountain Mouse comments, most quote unquote boutique cigars are just regular cigars with $12 bands.
Okay, well, number one, bands don't cost $12.
Yeah, that would suck.
And no, that's a hot take, and no, I don't agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, these are great hot takes. We actually have hot takes, so this is great. Because if we agreed with them,
Mountain Mouse. Well, that explains it.
They're not.
No, I mean, there's just so many things I could say.
Yeah, and this is great. We actually have hot takes rather than just shit we agree with. So,
yeah, you guys comment on this crap because otherwise I look like the evil.
I got you. I got you. I'm on your side for this one. To me, a boutique cigar is a small brand that doesn't produce hundreds of thousands of cigars a year. A perfect example is going to be Drew Estate versus something like HVC or something like Matilde cigars. The quantity that both of these brands produce each year is on opposite sides of the spectrum. So I would consider Matilde boutique or HVC, although I would consider them boutique in terms of production. And
Lorenzo would agree with that. He still considers himself boutique, and I love that.
Yeah. And I don't think the bands have anything. I think Matilde bands are some of the absolute most beautiful bands, and the boxes are gorgeous. And I would put them up against any other of their bands in the market. My father, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I would not consider them boutique.
No.
And I think they make some elegantly beautiful bands. So I don't think it has anything to do with the bands. Now, are there boutique brands that I think suck? Absolutely. But,
sure,
that's not the comment. So,
yeah. Interesting.
Sam Drop Cigars. Yeah. That's a boutique sort of, single under 1,000 boxes or something like that release, and you're paying more for the limited quantity, and that limited quantity is usually due to scarcity of the tobacco that goes in the cigar. You can't make 10,000 cigars if there's only enough tobacco for 1,000 cigars, and if that tobacco is really good, you want to use it. You're not going to go, sorry, I don't have enough to make a 10,000 cigar run, I'm not going to make this cigar. You're going to make a small boutique run of that cigar, and you're paying for that limitedness.
The Ramen Ghost. Any My Father blows any Fuente limited release out of the water. Well,
I'm going to say that's a hot take, but I don't partially disagree with it.
I don't have
But you
enough.
don't smoke a lot of My Father.
Yeah, I don't have enough historical data or experience to comment. I would say it's a hot take for sure. I don't smoke a whole lot of Fuente. The Fuente that I have smoked, I've really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you love the Lost City, right?
I've smoked maybe one or two My Father's, and I don't recall like raving about them.
Which I'm surprised, because if I would have pegged that to be a brand that you would really enjoy, because I think it's almost to your perfect wheelhouse of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I need to designate a week and go through their line.
Yeah,
because I could very much love them, but again, it's just a brand that I don't gravitate towards.
I think pound for pound, dollar for dollar, absolutely. I think the exception of, for me, I haven't smoked all of their crazy lineups, but the ones that I have smoked, the one that I gravitate to the most is just the regular Opus X. I think anything after that tends to be not worth it in terms of value, especially if you can get Opus X for $18 to $25. Great cigar. Smoke one every year at least.
Yeah.
My Father's you can get for 12 to 16 on average, and I think they smoke consistently. I think they've got great factory, great quality control, great tobacco that they use. The flavor profile is certainly different, so you're not going to get that, kind of musty aged Fuente that you do with most Opuses. But I think for value wise, My Father blows the Fuente limited releases out of the water. And going back to Sam's comment on the previous one, totally agree. You're also paying a little extra because they don't have a huge market share of tobaccos and bands in reference to boutique cigars.
Yeah. My father hates me, but I enjoy My Father's cigars.
Sam, I've heard Rare Pink was really good. I haven't smoked one myself or even seen one to smoke, but I have heard multiple people comment that the Rare Pink was a really good release. And I really like the bands on it. I thought Pink did really cool with the traditional Fuente logo.
Oh, yeah. I do remember seeing that one on one of the...
A couple of the guys that we were hanging out with at the Casa 1910 experience had Rare Pinks, and they really loved it. Yeah.
From Wolf Job 2034. Yes, we've had the Oliva V. It's fine, I guess. There's way better out there at the same price. I mean, you could say that about almost any cigar. Like, I
don't disagree.
I do think the Oliva V and the Melanio, just that is like one of the most discussed cigars. It's in beginner boxes, and it's
for a reason, a great reason. But
it's a topic of, if you're a new cigar smoker, you should start with this. And it's interesting how that cigar has just kind of been a
polarizing
topic on its own.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree at all to both your comment and this comment here. I think it's a great cigar to give someone that's now getting into cigars, whether it be the V or the Melanio. For me personally, I completely agree. I think there are way better cigars out there for the same price. That blend does not speak to me. I appreciate the blend for what it is, but that blend does nothing for my palate. It doesn't do, I'm not jumping overjoy for it. If someone gave it to me, I'd smoke it, but I'd rather pick up a different cigar.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, Sam loves the V, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
What does he know?
Well, hot take. Griff's giving a hot take. What does Sam know? I think Sam knows a damn lot. He sent us some great bourbons, great cigars. So I'll give him a little tip of the old hat.
Sam knows he's got a little tiny, tiny sliver special place in G's heart. Got to get in a call. Good to see you guys.
Dustin, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you, man. I hope you have a great vacation.
I'm ready for a damn vacation myself.
I'm excited for you.
This girl is ripping again on that little segue. It's like damn Mario Andretti out there.
I don't know how people can do those segues without handles.
And she's not even wearing a damn helmet. So if I hear a scream, I'm closing my garage door.
I didn't see anything. All right, I'll read this one. I got to really squint for this one, so there's no way in hell you're reading it. We got Spooky Edgar. People who talk about quote unquote value sticks and hate on premium brands are just salty. They can't get the good stuff. You asked for a hot take. There it is. Well, we did ask for a hot take. So
Thank you,
Spooky Edgar, excuse me. Thank you for that hot take.
Thanks, Sam. We still got your money, so no worries. This is
if you're shitting on a premium brand and premium brands and you're smoking value sticks that are like chillin' moose where it's like short filler or mixed filler,
is that the definition? That's what we're talking about here? Because
that's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, because I think of still premium cigars, but at a value price. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking of like Drew Estate seconds, Cigar International seconds.
Okay.
What's it like? The Vegas 5, the shit that you get in like a Cigar International sampler that has like 2 brands in it and then 25 cigars that you've never heard of, and guarantee they're mixed filler or floor sweepings.
Yeah.
So if you're only smoking those and you're saying, Placencia sucks or HVC sucks, Warp sucks. Yeah, I think if that's all you can afford, that's fine. Just don't shit on these other brands. That's the issue I would take.
My thought is like, or my example is buying a GR88 for $8 or whatever it is, or a Warped Quarto for $7.
I mean, hell, the Placencia $5 cigar that we smoked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, premium
to me,
brand,
that's not a value stick. It's a premium.
No.
Well, it's a premium brand at a great price. I wouldn't call it value. I would say it's like those bundles where you can get 50 cigars for $25.
Yeah, that Placencia Necito, the Grand Reserve in Necito, was amazing.
That was great. Yeah, Sam, I 100% agree. Just smoke the best cigars that you can afford. And if you can only afford, because maybe you smoke a lot of cigars or the money isn't there, but you still enjoy smoking cigars, buy those 25 cigars for $10, enjoy them, but maybe don't shit on premium brands because you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't say that often. I don't say you're wrong because I value most people's opinions. But that, if you're shitting on a premium brand because you can't afford it, yeah, you're wrong.
Ooh, good. I can't read it, but I saw V-cut. So it's something about V-cut. Read it.
We got Z6 Joker 9. Ramsey went in the archives for this one. Posted 6 months ago. Holy hell. V-cuts are just training wheels for people who can't use a straight cutter.
Oh, hot take. Snap. I love that.
That is a spicy
Ooh, I like that a lot. That's great.
Hot or not? I want to know, hot or not?
It's definitely hot. I've never really thought of it that way, and I don't agree with that statement. Although, I really don't like V-cut. Obviously, there's a time and a place and a cigar for that, and some people, that's all they smoke and love, and that's completely fine. It's just personal preference. I mean, you can't tell me that there's going to be that much of a difference between a V-cut, a thumbing it off, a straight guillotine, a punch. It's just not going to happen.
I think it's a spicy ass hot take.
I think I've fucked up more V-cuts than straight cuts.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The Colbury, V-cut that you can't go deeper than what it allows for. And you bet your ass that I used to use this cutter a shit ton because I didn't want to fuck up my cigar.
It's the best.
And so there is some validity in that cigar you don't have to worry about. But they also make straight cuts that have that same, blockage where you can't fuck it up. And when I started using this Cigar, I would put it flat on the table and then put my cigar in it and then cut it. So I didn't cut too much off until I got comfortable using this straight cutter and not taking too much of the cap off. So some validity to it, but I think that's a spicy ass.
Like for this Placencia, obviously I didn't thumb it off because I just didn't want to completely butcher it, and then it started unraveling. But for any of the cigar that I usually smoke in the range of $6 to $12, most of the time I'm just gonna thumb it right off.
I got a blowout.
Yeah, mine's starting to die a little bit. Oh, you did. Got too hot.
Cherry got a little too hot, expanded. It may have gotten hot, then cold, then re-hot again. That cherry is burning hot compared to earlier when we were holding it. So I think that's caused it to expand and blow up that wrapper, but we're still going to smoke it because the cigar's still smoking so good. Sam, I agree. I like a V-cut on a torpedo cigar myself. I have been experimenting with doing a like diagonal cut on the torpedo just to see if I can get a better draw or a different flavor profile. I think it was back when we had Vlad on the podcast. He was talking about and he had us do it the way that the smoke enters the mouth and things like that. So I've been experimenting with it. Before I would just use V-cut, but now I've been smoking more torpedoes with my straight cut and seeing, if that works out better for me.
Can't read this one.
All right, this comes in from C. Murph Bucks. Saka cigars are better than Cubans.
100%.
Take at all. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
100%.
There are people out there that'll flex on you that say they only smoke Cubans, and jokes on them. I saw an article yesterday that Cohiba, it was like $300 a pop for a stick now. If that's what you're smoking and you can afford, bless you. But people are taking your money and laughing all the way to the bank with it.
They're making about 900% on those beasts.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm a massive Saka fan, as you know.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not going to say. I think that's one of the first truly non-hot take that we've had.
Yeah. Any hot takes in the chat?
Yeah, I haven't seen too many. Lukewarm take at best.
TX Man 91 Fuente Añejo blows Opus out of the water.
I thoroughly enjoy the Fuente Añejo. I believe it's a Father's Day release every year. I've got 2 in the humidor that I've forgotten about. They're at the bottom of the humidor, but I saw them the other day when I was packing cigars for camping. And that cigar's always been phenomenal. I don't know if it blows it out of the water. I think that one's blend preference, but I think it is a fantastic cigar. Yeah, I don't got much on that one. Griff, I don't think you've ever smoked that one, have you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I have not.
Oh, I ain't touching this one. This is you.
I can't. Jesus
oh,
Christ.
You're gonna want to stick. You're going to lean in for this one.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, baby, this is going on TikTok. You're gonna get roasted.
I feel like this is Ramsey because there's no name.
Probably.
From top to bottom, Padron is the best cigar brand in the world. Hitters at every price point. You're an idiot.
Well,
next.
There it is, folks.
I mean, that's
a hot take. That's a hot take.
Hell yeah. I mean, if you like a brand that much, I mean, that's great. That you should
absolutely.
You should email them, and you should like be an ambassador for them.
I mean, I think
like
you would die
at the level. You're at the level of like you should have a Padron tattoo on you somewhere.
He may. They may.
He might.
I think you would die on the HVC hill.
I would,
but I
for
don't
sure,
think you would say that they are the best cigar in the world.
No.
And they're, there's a level of brand simping that some people have for some of these brands.
But of course,
Padron,
it's Padron.
Cubans.
I mean,
well, I think Ramsey Googled hot take. Someone commenting best Padron, and this was probably on like Facebook or something.
No, that's probably Ramsey just making shit up now and wanting to get me going. Yeah, of course.
One day he's going to send us a blind. It's going to be a Padron. You're going to love it, and you will never hear the end of it. And
look,
you won't let that episode go out.
I hope. No, I'll let it go out for sure. But that's what we should do. Is 3 cigars, one of which is a Padron, and they all look similar.
That's the issue. Padron are very. I just got a Padron 40th in the other day that I'm excited to smoke because I've never smoked anything out of their. That. Yeah, I've never smoked anything out of their core line of the 26 and 48 or whatever the fuck it is, 64, 28, 64, something like that.
I thought there was a 50.
So man, I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, their blends are literally the exact same.
Yeah.
So to that point, I'm excited to see what the 40th is. I've wanted to smoke the 50th as well. So this will be my first foray into the age stated anniversary lines
Yeah.
from Padron. So that may change my opinion of it. Most of the ones here have come from the same Reddit topic from 6 months ago. Way to go, Ramsey. William Sandy found you. He calling you out. But hey, guess what? They're still hot takes nonetheless. All right, I'm going to lean in this one. Last hot take before the giveaway. Leaning in here. This is coming from.
That's a damn essay here.
Placid Daydream. Stop selling cigars without cello. I'm looking at you, Tatawahe, Padron, and Drew Estate. It's annoying. I assume time I go to smoke and have a broken or damaged stick, there's a 90% chance that it didn't have cello on it. Also, they get beat to hell at brick and mortars, and some sellers will even slap price tags right on the band itself. I fucking hate that. Sure, they look sexy in the box, but it's just not worth it, especially for brick and mortar stores. Not a hot take at all. 1,000% agree.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of no cello. I think it adds a level of premium feel. They're mostly, in my opinion, the ones at least that I've had are more of a premium cigar, at least in the portfolio. If you're buying a cabinet of them, it is completely sexy. And, a smart thing to do would maybe put all your uncelloed cigars in a container with other uncelloed cigars that you're not rummaging through. If they're sitting in the brick and mortar, I've never once seen them. And usually if they're uncelloed, they're in their own little velvet slot for the most part. The whole price tag thing, that's annoying and tacky.
Yeah, that sucks ass.
Aganorsa does that on a lot of their stuff, and it drives me nuts. But, I personally think of like La Colmena and Lirio and some other cigars that I really enjoyed. They're not cellophaned. I love it.
I mean, you're right. The Lirio cabinet, gorgeous. If I'm taking a photo of a cigar and I'm not being lazy, I'm going to take the cello off if I'm not smoking it.
Sure.
Like when I do my birthday lineup, 90% of them are cello and it looks like ass because the flash and it doesn't look good. So you got to take them off. And fuck that, I'm too lazy. I'm torn because I think it is it's not a hot take. I completely agree with it. For some reason, I can't just stick to one opinion and not play devil's advocate. I don't know what that says about me, but I mean, I've had a couple Liros where the foot's chipped. It doesn't ruin the cigar by any means, but
right.
I don't know. I prefer cello.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral. I mean, and I do have a cabinet of Lirio. There's something about, so this is kind of a one-off example, but there's something about opening the box, grabbing it, thumb light, all within this, same fell swoop. Mm-hmm. It's just badass.
Sam, I think you're spot on. Buying a box, okay. Single, no. So maybe it's something that you've got and it's just now another logistic thing and it's a pain in the ass. But if you're selling a box, cool, it doesn't matter. But if you're maybe buying boxes for your brick and mortar and you're going to sell them as singles on like as a website or for traveling or something like that, maybe offer a secondary SKU with cello. I mean, I know there's plenty of manufacturers that we work with when we're doing exclusives or whatever it may be. We'll be asked, hey, do you want cello or no cello? And it's always, if we can, we're getting cello.
In our case, for sure, given its travels quite a bit of distance. But
not always the case. We did ship some Liros before and they're just not offered in cello. So I'm not going to not ship a cigar because it doesn't have cello, especially if it's something great like Liro. But yeah, I don't think it's a hot take. I would prefer cello over uncellowed.
I'm more,
it's better.
More focused 100% on the size, not if it has a little plastic condom on it, right? You won't be seeing me going to grab a Torpedo or a Gordo or, a Churchill. I'm going in there to look for a specific size, most likely.
Yeah. And if it's in a brick and mortar, you can inspect the cigar before purchasing it. So maybe it's different. Obviously, if you're taking it home, you're throwing it in your humidor and it's going to sit on top of others and you may travel with it. Size does not matter. Anywho. But maybe if you're buying like an online retailer and they don't have great customer service, they may not replace it. But if I were to get a cigar and the cigar is completely damaged and unsmokable because it arrived damaged. I don't care about a little foot, or up at the head of the cigar. That's not going to affect the burn. But if I got a cigar and it looked like this, I'm reaching back out and I'm saying, hey, this got damaged in transport. Can you send me another? And I would say 90% will, if it came to you that way. Now, if I'm traveling to Pensacola and it fucked up in my humidor, well, that's on me.
Yeah.
Find a, be careful.
I will say they're not the best traveling, and the unsellowed cigars that I have usually stay here and I grab them and smoke them here. But I'm more focused on profile and size versus does it have a freaking plastic sleeve.
It's not going to prevent me. I just may not, I may smoke it at home as opposed to traveling with it.
Exactly.
And going back to Steve, we've seen my camera. It adds, a great half inch, an inch to everything. Size does not matter. Just get yourself a good camera. Get yourself a good camera. All right. So we got a giveaway. We are spinning the wheel. We're going to give away a 5-pack of the June customs, which will be shipping out here shortly. So spin that wheel. Let's see who the lucky winner is for a 5-pack of our June customs.
When you get it, you gotta.
Oh, baby. William Sandy, congratulations. We will get you a 5-pack of Lynn. Now, if you want, I can get that out for you right away next week, or we can wait. We are waiting for the lovely booklets to come in. William, Sandy, I called you William. Jesus. Sandy, I don't remember if you are a customs member. So if you are and you want to wait to have the booklet with it, we can combine it with your regular customs order. Or if you'd like to get them early, I can ship you out just the 5-pack without the booklet.
Screw the booklet. Get the cigar. It's smoking great.
So it's up to you. Let me know either here now or shoot me an email, and I can get that out to you on Monday if you want.
Awesome. I was also yellow. Does that count for anything? Yes. Thank you for participating in the live engagement.
Yes. And we apologize. I think it's probably been 2 months, but we're back, baby. Sandy, I will get that out to you on Monday. I am rolling out of here hot today, so I will not have a chance to do that this week, but I will get that to you Monday, buddy. And you can enjoy Lynn, which is great cigar. Smoked it. We did a podcast the other day. We'll have a podcast coming out soon on that one. And looking forward to sharing that story with everyone. So thank you all again for joining us for another Box Drop Live. It's great to be back. Great to see some familiar names in there, as well as some more names. Josh Sims, we have heard the people. We love doing these lives and being able to interact with you guys. If you're not a part of our Discord and you want to interact with us more, jump on in, shoot us a message on Instagram. I think it's in our YouTube link as well. We are constantly posting what we're smoking. You guys are doing a great job of posting what you're smoking, what you're drinking. We love to see it. So enjoy the upcoming weekend, everyone. Until next time, happy smoking.
Smoke something good, damn it. Cheers.